Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Mortanius, and we are back with more Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition on the Xbox Series X. Last left off, we had managed to finally make our way over to the Artemis Tau cluster and rescue one Dr. Liara Tassoni. Interesting. And blue. Now we're just in the process of running around chatting it up with our crew. Since we finished that main mission, they should have something new to say, and once we handle that, we'll progress further into the greater galaxy once more. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this. Time of recording is 12:21 a.m. Friday, May 17th, 2024. Okay, buddy. Guy.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
I want it straight. I always do.
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
Partly, but at the same time, you can't exactly expect the Council to just jump like that. If they do decide to move, they have to follow effectively the same trail we do, which takes us into the terminus systems, which was already stated to potentially cause a war. Now, I'm not saying we don't matter, but is one species worth waging a galactic war over? I don't know. I hate that these aren't descriptive enough to give you the details you would properly need. The second answer is the potentially closest, but well, now the top answer is the closest, but it's not what I'm going for.
We'll get things done. I'd rather operate independently than have the brass on our backs anyway.
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Seeing this coming? You mean a Spectre going rogue? I would agree, but that implies it's a normal thing. And even if it ain't, that implies that there's either A, records intentionally kept to inform later counselors down the line of previous Spectre failures, which is rare to see the organization that's willing to accept that responsibility anyway. Or, sorry about that, folks. Weird notification on my phone. Or they, as I said, didn't end up having to deal with it, which they may have been lucky enough. But, huh?
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could compile.
Unkind, huh?
There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
So you don't think it was an accident, huh?
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Interesting. Downwind, huh? What is this Jump Zero?
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
I can respect that, though. FTL capabilities, you wouldn't really want to do something like that in like near a planet, near a station, near a colony, a moon. Best to do something like that as far out as possible. No friends?
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
Yeah.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Interesting. You in a public talking mood
Then
then?
you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or
Different
games.
statement,
There
but
was
sure.
this girl named Rana who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich, but she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Ain't nothing like a woman that's beautiful but not stuck up about it. Jesus Christ. Especially if she's bookish. Ain't nothing like a bookish woman.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same, but things never felt together. Training, you know.
Life doing what it does. Yeah, brother. Them intentional exposures. When I was talking about talking, he sort of made it sound like right near the end there he was talking about the intentional exposures. I'm like, okay, so you talk about whistleblowing or what?
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was known. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
See, I don't hear stuff like that and then just ignore it. They may have been in the neighborhood, they may have been training, they may have been there just as a normal thing, trying to establish locations in case element 0 exposure happened. Not necessarily to look for biotics, but to deal with the exposure itself. But, yeah, I mean, sounds like they were kind of waiting. Keep it real. But that reinforces why I do things like when I play games like Mass Effect. If I'm a biotic sometimes, not always, but one of my main preferences is to give myself like a feature based on it, hence my eyes. Being that we're human, we don't normally have biotics anyway.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
The grand gateway to anything always looks a lot better in the vids. Yeah, I got your back, brother, if you need my ear.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
You know, and I always found that funny. So many people weirdly do consider Caden to be a whiner, but he doesn't whine. The only time he mentions his problems is when you ask, and yeah, he has like quite a few, but that's because he's pretty well rounded and he's a quiet type. Like me, he observes, so he picks up a lot of information.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni.
Don't do it.
Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
I do. As was previously stated.
Just remember, Lieutenant, I saw her first.
Only by a few seconds, sir.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alright. We'll chat it up with, as I said, everybody on board. Dr. Chakwas. I don't know if she says anything.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need? That humanity needs. But there's something special. Tends to
What does that... What kind of conflict?
severe men. Goodbye,
No,
Commander.
she didn't say anything about the as you folks can see, this is her little nook.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Checking up on everybody. You are the most recent on my list. You alright?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's the best there is at what she does. Well, what she does is not very nice.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
It's not a problem. It is what it is. Needed to find you, and so far you seem to not only not be an enemy, but you might actually be helpful. So, you know, never hurts to help somebody. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, always a good thing.
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
You put a lot of weight on these two choices. There couldn't be an in-between? Damn. Like, I'll hold you to that with a smile kind of thing?
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
No problem. I mean, we've known each other all of 12 minutes all together, including this stream. Yep. Deep seated trust. Now it's time to learn about Asari culture.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Not gonna lie, that's quite an interesting stance to take. If it's true, it's true, but I mean, that's hard. It's an idealistic as hell position to stand from. We believe in nothing but peace, love, connection, joy, and unity. Rumors, though, huh? Of what kind?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Interesting. Trying to remember. I believe there's some creatures down here that can do the same thing. I believe it's called parthenogenesis.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is
Really?
not an essential element of the union. The true
Where's the
connection
fun
is
in that?
our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
Interesting that they can do something like that while simultaneously not going sterile. Because at the end of the day, hold on.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
So the intention is for a one-night stand pregnancy? What kind of shit is that? I'll say that my species at least has it better in that regard. The goal of a one-night stand is just that.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
You know, it is possible for there to be multiple species born on the same planet who both achieve some form of sentience and spaceflight, at least theoretically. So it stands to reason that possibly your species had another species that you could meld with while you worked your way towards spaceflight. I do find it interesting though. Melding with one of your own species is considered to be a problem. But what then happens in terms of the sustainability of the genetics of your species? Because you said it yourself, and this is what I was talking about earlier. They don't take the DNA from other races. They effectively change their DNA to say the same thing of your DNA. And then they create another Asari. But the problem of it is, you choose not to procreate with one of your own anymore. Therefore, eventually, you're going to run out of Asari. Yeah, you have Asari based on other races. And yes, it is still Asari DNA. But it's Asari DNA structured Asari style. I mean, non-Asari style. It'll be like looking at dog DNA and seeing people. Completely different, like, comparison, but that's not the point. It's possible they were embarrassed about you, / the melding, but it's also possible that they weren't aware or something happened to them.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Cold, boy. Cold. Say, I hope you died in a horrible fire instead of not being there to raise me. Hope you were spaghettified in a black hole. God. Wait. Is this asking the same thing?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was
Yeah,
not
right,
Asari.
I
alright.
thought you always needed another
Think
species.
about it. Union with our own kind. Asari daughters inherit racial traits. I am what is sometimes... It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been...
Maybe she wanted to meet.
Called you pure
Many
blood,
Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived.
but your
Often
species
the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
is supposed to be enlightened and forward thinking. Ooh, such political correctness culture. Far advanced in the future. Purebloods, though, huh? Those muggles.
You Asari lived for 1,000 years.
How dare they?
What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Not gonna lie, that sounds hive-minded as hell. Some would say it sounds beautiful, and it legitimately does, but it's when you take away the beauty, you look at the bare bones, I fade out, but a piece of me is still stuck with you, whether I like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Anything you could tell me about your mother? Who she was?
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Possible. Maybe. Maybe not, we'll have to see. You seem to be off-put, though. This surprises you.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Okay, tell me about you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Huh. Archaeology. Always loved archaeology.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You
I can
were
agree.
actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Oh, really?
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
She said, I want to cut little pieces off of you and do things to it.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Yeah, stuff like that has always been cute. Well, I mean, that's how it always is. Opposites and all that. What one side likes, the other side might
I
not.
should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Throw out a bit of codices for you folks. That was actually pretty interesting.
The Asari. The Asari,
Oh.
the second species to join the Citadel. The Solarians are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Solarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Solarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Solarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Solarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Solarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they are letting on.
Okay. Some of these I should have knocked out at earlier points. Some of these I do need to knock some out whenever I get them immediately, because they'll pile up bad. Where are you?
In the early 2160s,
I think we
the
read
Alliance
about
began
these.
aggressive colonization. The Elcor
And
are a
Elcor.
citadel. The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the Terminus systems. When the Asari discovered the Citadel, they also discovered the Keepers, a docile, multi-limbed insect race that seemingly exists only to maintain and repair the Great Prothean Station. Early attempts to communicate with or study the Keepers were failures, and it is now illegal to interfere with or impede Keeper activity. Because they are completely non-threatening, Keepers have become virtually invisible to everyone else. Similarly, they seem indifferent to other species, except for their tendency to help new arrivals integrate themselves into the Citadel. No matter how many Keepers die due to old age, violence, or accident, they maintain a constant number. No one has discovered the source of new Keepers, but some hypothesize they are genetic constructs. Biological androids created somewhere deep in the inaccessible core of the Citadel itself.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had muted it for a bit so I wouldn't be heard over these codices. Was wanting to say was gonna give you folks this one, the Krogan one, maybe the Corian one, but might wait on that one. But this one and the Krogan one, we're definitely going ahead and knock out, since the Krogan were the ones that we just spoke about.
The Krogan evolved in a hostile and vicious environment. Until the invention of gunpowder weapons, eaten by predators was still the #1 cause of Krogan fatalities. Afterwards, it was death by gunshot. When the Solarians discovered them, the Krogan were a brutal, primitive species, struggling to survive a self-inflicted nuclear winter. The Solarians culturally uplifted them, teaching them to use and build modern technology, so they could serve as soldiers in the Rachni War. Liberated from the harsh conditions of their homeworld, the quick-breeding Krogan experienced an unprecedented population explosion. They began to colonize nearby worlds. even though these worlds were already inhabited. The Krogan rebellions lasted nearly a century, only ending when the Turians unleashed the Genophage, a Solarian-developed bioweapon that crushed all Krogan resistance. The Genophage makes only 1 in 1,000 pregnancies viable, and today the Krogan are a slowly dying breed. Understandably, the Krogan harbor a grudge against all other species, especially the Turians.
They're really gonna make me do this. I'll go ahead and give us these last two, since that's just his
Driven
last
from their
two.
home system by the Geth nearly 3 centuries ago, most Quarians now live aboard the Migrant Fleet, a flotilla of 50,000 vessels ranging in size from passenger shuttles to mobile space stations. Home to 17 million Quarians, the flotilla understandably has scarce resources. Because of this, each Quarian must go on a rite of passage known as the pilgrimage when they come of age. They leave the fleet and only return once they have found something of value they can bring back to their people. Other species tend to look down on the Quarians for creating the Geth, and for the negative impact their fleet has when it enters a system. This has led to many myths and rumors about the Quarians, including the belief that underneath their clothes and breathing masks, they are actually cybernetic creatures, a combination of organic and synthetic parts.
So needless to say, it's understandable why it is people tend to have issue with the Quarians. Yeah? Yeah.
The Volus are a member species of the Citadel with their own embassy, but they are also a client race of the Turians. Centuries ago, they were voluntarily absorbed into the hierarchy, effectively trading their mercantile prowess for Turian military protection. Erun, their homeworld, lies far beyond the normal life zone of its star. However, the world has a high-pressure greenhouse atmosphere that traps enough heat to support an ammonia-based biochemistry. As a result, the Volus must wear pressure suits and breathers when dealing with other species, as conventional nitrogen-oxygen air mixtures are poisonous to them, and in the low-pressure atmospheres tolerable to most species, their flesh will actually split open. Volus culture is tribal, bartering lands and even people to gain status. This culture of exchange inclines them to economic pursuits. It was the Volus who authored the Unified Banking Act, and they continue to monitor and balance the Citadel economy.
Needless to say, it's understandable why it is the Volus are a little salty. What, you exhausted? Can't hang, huh? That's that problem with you, Shepard. Cardio. Get your cardio up there, man.
Commander, how are you?
I'm gravy. So what's up with you and your issues with CSEC?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
It's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Such as?
What? Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
Probably considers it to be like a family business. I can understand it.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Sarah.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Sarah. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
Really?
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I can respect that. I can actually respect that.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
Yeah.
You can. But Saren's not
Yeah.
going to play by our rules, C-Sex rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Flawed logic. There need to be boundaries, otherwise why does what you do even matter? Why does what he do matter? He's crossed boundaries. There have to be boundaries in order to cross them.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks.
It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be simple. You will not hear me say something stupid like that. But you know the old adage, nothing worth doing is ever easy or simple.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Hell yeah.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core.
Skill.
I could tell as soon as I met him.
You met him before, huh? It may be useful to dig
Why
into.
didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would've if I thought it was important.
Fair enough.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
Interesting. He recruited you, or what? You was an intermediary or
I
something?
didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
I see. He wasn't looking for pipe cleaners or deep professionals. He was looking for mid-level mercs. Better than the bottom of the barrel, better than the basic, but not so good to be high profile and noticed when they go missing.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching.
Uh-huh.
A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Interesting. What were y'all shipping, or going to pick up, rather?
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Food and medical supplies. Basic weapons, but nothing big. So, nothing like really useful to a Krogan beyond a gun anyway. Okay. What type of ship?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What, was he looking for banking statements or something?
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Yep. Walking through the ship, watching, not saying a word, marking his targets. Who's doing the job and who's gonna need to go. He ain't there for money. He was there for something very specific. It makes you wonder, was he already doing what he's doing then? Or is what he's doing right now even more recent? Was he pretty much always just an asshole? Did he speak about the genophage?
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
There's a lot, he did. There's a lot of codexes, folks. At some point, I'm gonna make it a point to show the secondary ones just on screen. They don't have audio behind them. But whoa, I'll make it a point to flag that episode, though. It's just something like just the codexes. At that point, I'll actually like let all the codexes just run. But I'm not trying to leave like a bunch of just knowledge up here and leave us all confused like that. Want us to have a primer of the universe we're dealing in. Not a base primer, but a pretty good primer, actually. Ah, there you go. Looking like the yellow Power Ranger. Side note, boy, yellow Power Ranger was bad. Better shields would be nice, but if memory serves, she has electronics. Yeah, she has a biotic amp, so she has electronics as a skill. That's not gonna be a problem. Garus. Sure, why not? Swap this out, lose a tech and biotic protection, but he's a sentinel. He builds his own tech and biotic protection. Oh, wasn't trying to do that. Okay.
Commander, you have a minute to talk.
That was weird. He cut himself off. Go for it, Williams.
Policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on.
Bring it on.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
What do you mean specifically?
Don't mince words, Chief. What's your concern?
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
Hmm. Interesting. Not gonna say she's out of line. She has a perspective and she's worried about humanity. Hmm.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
You're partly right, but at the same time, that doesn't mean we mistrust our allies. We need help out here just as they need help out here. We need to be able to stand in the ring by ourselves, but never hurts to have some help. Trainer, cut man, so on and so forth.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
Crazy and controversial as this sounds, she's not entirely wrong. It's not entirely racism. There's strong smacks of racism, but it's more speciesism if you're really going to think about it in those kind of terms. There is a natural in-group preference for familiarity. That's the way life tends to work. It's why you tend to see races, despite the fact of America being, some say a melting pot, I say more of a salad bowl. But it's despite the fact of America being the country where pretty much everybody is at. If you notice, you have little communities of every single race all bunched together with little individuals from other races dotted in between or in and out of those areas. It's again not to say that we shouldn't care about the lives of those beyond our world. It's simply saying that there is a natural group preference. I mean, there's no way around it. There's nothing wrong with that, just so long as you don't take it too far.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
And see, that's what I'm talking about right there. You got a stake in this and this in your whole family. It's not to say they can't be trusted, but you know, hope for the best, plan for the worst. But again, it can be a little extreme if you're not careful.
I never knew my family. Grew up an orphan on Earth. Anybody in your family I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. So why are you out here? Just trying to get away from Earth?
I'm here to see space, baby. Ain't nothing like it.
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
Don't tell me you had Gunny Ellison. He's the only one I know who uses that word to describe shirking duty.
Oh, Lord. You went to the Makapog boot camp, too? Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
You don't want to mess with people like that. It's like when you hear military people say things like, it would behoove you.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been
Hmm.
outside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
I can respect that. But that's interesting. So far, what I know about you, doesn't really make much sense. That was all.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Redirection. Boom, 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 boom. Look, I can understand your sentiment and how you feel. It's not you trying to say fuck the Xenos or purge the Xeno scum or none of that. It's just you saying, look here, Earth is Earth. I'd rather keep it Earth. It's not me saying we can't be cool, but I kind of expect you to shoot me in the back if it comes down to your planet or mine. That's all I'm saying. And you can't entirely disagree with that, but at the same time, you can't entirely agree. It's a mixed bag, but its own group preference proves it's more of a 60-40 kind of thing.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Interesting. So why not your humble commander?
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
Nah. You say that, but you'd make it a fun thing. What was that she said in, what was the first episode, second episode? If you want me in a skirt and thigh-high boots, I want dinner first.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I'd buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
It's possible. I mean, I don't really have a great deal of bad blood with most of the people in my family. Well, most of the people in my family I'm good with. There's some people I have some bad blood with, but beyond that, I'm just not an overly chatty person. So I don't really keep in contact with my family as much as I probably should. But it's not because there's issues between us. We're good. Hell, family reunion coming up here pretty soon.
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
You know, it's funny. I just now remembered this with her having said that. There's a lot of people who got stuck on that comment, failing to realize she was more or less teasing right here about teasing Liara, not actually planning on doing it. I mean, his previous statement literally said that he thinks that she's either not lying or that she lies often. But let's go for it.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander.
I know.
Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
It is impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
It is
Looking
impressive.
forward to it, sir.
And now they're gone. That actually, that kind of thing would irk you. It really would, boy. Now I can disseminate all of the gear that I have excess of. Being sorry, she'll get her biotic protection. I'm assuming she'll get tech protection as well. She's her abilities are entirely adept based, just like mine. But she has a few other tricks, like tech abilities, as we've already shown. Electronics and whatnot. Excuse me. Spend more time on board than I thought I was going to. A lot more. Wow. But that's one thing to be aware of, folks, when it comes to Mass Effect. It it is a thunder. If you ain't trying to sit down and get into it, fair warning. Whether that's to play it or to watch it, fair warning. Mass Effect does not, has not, and I suspect will not ever play. Now we just need Mass Effect 4 to be good.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Tally! Stop.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
And the adrenaline's worn off.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
Too quiet, huh?
Silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Honestly, it legitimately sounds like the point.
Sounds like the pilgrimage isn't just about finding resources for the fleet. Maybe it's about teaching you to appreciate your people and culture.
You're probably right. We Quarians spend our whole lives traveling, but really we never leave home. The pilgrimage has given me a whole new perspective on our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
It's possible. I always hated the way this question is phrased. I'll ask it here in a second, but it's possible. If memory serves, the Amish have a ritual that they do. It might not actually be called a ritual, but I think it's like Springer or something like that. Once their teens turn, I think 16, they can go out into the world. Hold on. Springer is a rite of passage for some Amish youth that begins around age 16 and is the time between childhood and in adulthood. During this period, teens are no longer under the total control of their parents on weekends and are not yet under the authority of the church because they are not yet baptized. Also subjected to fewer rules and younger members of the community and may partake in activities that would usually be discouraged. Literally, they can come out into the world and do pretty much any and everything that they can do short of getting locked up.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
On that, I don't disagree. You made the Geth as a people, and he's using them. Who knows where they'll stop, if they'll stop.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach... But no ship wants to... We set out alone. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join.
We asked this.
It's not the best way to make a... Like what?
I want to know more about the
I
Geth.
doubt I can tell you anything you don't
All I know is the story of their origins.
Interesting.
Over time,
Right.
they made small modifications. But
Right.
nothing
Asked
major.
this already.
So there's
About the whole
But
skirting
when
the...
they're in close proximity, they, as you can imagine, this caused a general order went out across. We feared.
To be honest,
for super
the Geth
predators.
always made perfect sense. The way they work always makes perfect sense to me. In proximity, they feed off of each other's capabilities. Less memory is taken up, which gives them access to more linear or more non-linear thinking, more tactical thinking, potentially even more, oh no, not potentially, proven, even more intellectual thinking, to the point where, remember, they were skirting things, and then they had gathered pretty much enough Geth that one had a question. Was it one had a question? No. That they had started, that the Geth had started to draw attention to themselves, which let them know that they had effectively screwed up. But I don't know what it was specifically. I don't remember if it was referenced. Okay. There we go. Trying to find the other codices, plural, codex.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my metal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the...
Why does that keep happening? You most definitely have earned it, but I don't know if you want that, bro. Throw off your equilibrium.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the
Yeah.
last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medals.
Yes,
for
sir.
that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
Regardless of who you are in terms of being a man, beard or no, nothing like strong hair, facial hair or otherwise. What's status so far?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I have to go.
Alright, see.
Personally, I honestly like that aspect. The Normandy's power can sneak up on you if you ain't paying attention. Shows that it from time to time tends to get a little unusual. That can be a problem, but it could be real useful otherwise. But the main reason why I like it is just for the simple fact of pay attention. Don't take your eyes off the wheel just because you want to read a text. No nuts. Okay. What was it I planned on doing? Wait a minute. Where was that at? Damn it. Where was that at? Corporal Tombs. Newton Kepler Verge.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Sana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Damn, that was a horrible port in terms of this instance. I shouldn't have heard none of this music. Yeah, when I got that call, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly who this is. Okay, so Corporal Toombs. I actually need to, yeah, look at you two. You specifically, Liara. Set you up. Makes you wonder how high you can actually drop the Mako from. Okay. Warp. Barrier. First aid. Electronics. And the sorry scientists. Liara's background allows her to maximize her biotic abilities. Reduces recharge time of biotics and improves health restored and recharge time on squad healing. Really? Squad healing. I forgot that they rearranged a lot of this stuff. First aid heals an additional 40 points. Recharge time on biotics by 14%. An additional 70 points of damage, and recharge time for first aid is down by 40% if I go that route. Advanced warp. Singularity. Advanced barrier. Stasis. Create a powerful Mass Effect field that immobilizes a single target. Each point spent increases the duration of stasis. Makes the target unable to move or attack, but also immune to damage. Squad members will not use stasis unless it is selected from the power wheel. It has its uses, folks. It has its uses. Oh, I guess we'll be healing better. Yeah. Uh-oh. Max out Krogan Battlemaster. Yeah. Up barrier some. Warp. Assault rifles unlocking unlocking shotguns. Carnage. Turns the next shotgun blast into an explosive ball of particles that can damage multiple enemies. Krogan Battlemaster maxed out. Warp goes up by 1. Barrier by 1. And fitness by 1. Okay. What's bad is if memory serves, yeah, I need my decryption skill to be higher. Wait a minute. Or was it my electronics skill? Because I don't have electronics. I think it was my decryption skill. I didn't bring anybody to help me with that. Alright. Pour one out for the planet. It's our old path again, children. Oh. Yeah, I did not expect that whole thing to be, like I obviously expected the talking, but not for it to take a month. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Right. Yeah. For future reference for you folks, if you ever get stuck like this, you can use the jets and to actually propel yourself up. Wait, oh wait, what was that? Interesting. Weird. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because I'm like in this weird spot. And of course I can't get out. Okay, let's let it try one more time. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do that, but I've been stuck upside down before. Oh shit. Since we're doing that. Hello, ladies. Got me thinking about that old that old Isaac Hayes song. Decryption, master. Decryption, master sabotage. Nothing is off limits to me. And now you have better skills with shotguns. Make use of it. Finally. That's funny. That's literally never happened before. Come on. You can do it, Nikki. You've got it. There you go. Just in case. I always wondered how fast the Mako actually is. It's like a rhino that can climb and climb for days. Actually, it's like a bull that can climb and climb for days. Oh Lord, alright. Hey, Telly, thanks for your help. Fusion explosive, cryo explosive. Might use those, we'll see. This should be everything I need, Paragon-wise, or Renegade-wise. No new enemies. Good. All right. Should have used the time to hire more people there, guy. That was weird. Got stuck. I wonder. I think I went over this area, but I might not have gone over it as well as I could have. But I do think I'm actually fine. Didn't miss anything.
Stay back! I've got no grief with you. All I want is this bastard. Please! He's a madman! Mr. Toombs, you're insane! You need help! Shut up! You don't get to lie. You don't... Shepard? My God. Shepard, is that you?
Toombs? But you were on a cruise. I saw the Thresher mob pull you under.
They took me, Shepard. The scientists. You can't prove any of this. This man is delusional. See, they were running tests on the Thresher moths. They let those things hit us just to watch and study. I woke up in a holding cell. The scientists were delighted I'd survived. Now they had someone to run tests on.
Toombs, I didn't see anybody. If I'd seen you, I'd have come back for you, I swear.
You can't believe Toombs. He doesn't have any proof. I demand a fair trial. He was there! You bastard! He knows the truth. They're part of some organization, Cerberus, that runs secret tests like this. They treated me like a lab animal. This man deserves to die, Shepard. For you, for me, for everyone else in the unit. Are you with me?
How in the hell? They're really gonna make me come back a third time.
I can arrest him. He'll answer for his crimes in court.
Weren't you listening? He was part of a secret organization. I don't know what Cerberus is, but they'll never let their operation become public. This is the only way. Are you helping me, or are you killing me?
Oh, shit.
Toombs, it doesn't have to be like this. This isn't the only way.
It is for me. I avenge them, Shepard. Our unit can finally rest in peace. I can finally let go. The vids say that you were the sole survivor of what happened at Akuz. Who am I to argue?
That is wicked. I effectively need almost all of my Paragon slots. Or, I wonder... Hold up. Am I tripping? That's the damn problem. When you get Charm and Intimidate, I forgot this. I don't know why I forgot this. because it's present in all 3 games. That meter right there, the meters around my character's head, those are thresholds I have to be at in order to be able to do stuff like this. What I've been upgrading is point gain, basically. Getting access to certain things, but I build up better point generation every time I do something Paragon or Renegade. Okay. Alright, stranded system in the Horsehead Nebula. Hawking Etta, Horsehead. Have I even been to the Horsehead Nebula yet? Oh, yeah, it's Novaria. Okay. Thorough. That is a name. Medallion from the Legion of One. Or from the League of One. Zawin. Actually. Yeah, okay. Now, where in this system are you? MSV Majesty. The Majesty is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. The ship is a derelict. All compartments are exposed to space, and the fusion plant is leaking. The damage is consistent with ship-mounted mass-accelerated fire. Private owner, Captain Willem. Alright. A faint trail of radioactive particles, possibly exhaust from a sublighted nuclear engine drive, leads toward the nearby plains of Zawin. That explains why Zawin had a thumbnail, and a level 1 cold has it. Sure, let's just go with that. All right. Gonna do this from sequence to sequence. Now, this level 1 cold hazard is legit. Meaning when I step out, I'm dealing with a level 1 cold hazard on my map, as you can see. Now, to what degree it's gonna matter, I cannot remember. It might not actually matter yet. But as you can also see, we have no choice but to wear our helmets. It must feel good in them suits, boy. An insignia. Oh. Okay. Trying to go around it. Damn it. Stand up. Stand up, damn you. You can do it. I believe in you. Atta girl. Well, I said I believe in you, and she perked right up, didn't she? As I should say that more often. Ain't like it ain't true. Interesting. This area. Yep. Alright. Well, maybe not. Wait, what the hell? Interesting. It's a generator. There appears to be no one left at this camp. The generator is still functioning, but there are no signs of the former occupants. The camp's computer notes several locations of interest. And the map's been updated. Oh, cool. Shows me where mineral deposits are as well. Stuff like that isn't necessary to... Damn it. That's actually fine. Necessary to find. It's always good when you do. Always. Suppose I probably should have mentioned this if I hadn't already, but any damage you take to the Mako, so long as you leave, whether you finish the mission or not, so long as you leave, it will automatically be repaired and it won't take from your Omnigel. Oh. It appears this person was trying to mark the nearby mineral deposit when he died or was killed. Well, we'll go ahead and mark this. Yeah. Marked. Heavy metal surveyed. Iridium. Cool. Hit that debris and then head on word to victory. Excuse me. But nothing like a journey. Interesting. Yep, that's what I was worried about. I should have saved. Shit, I'm looking at the area and I'm like, it's wide open and flat. Yep, this is happening. Oh. I could initiate repairs, but problem. Damn it, it's gonna force me to stay here. Oh wow. Never mind. I can move. I just can't fight like this. Ouch. Here's one thing that wasn't in the original game. Boosters. Nowhere near the first Thresher Maw I've killed, and you dead ass ain't gonna be the last one. Yes, sir. Kick rocks. Well, that was a fun field trip, wasn't it, children? Don't tell your mother. Son of a bitch. Yo.
Ready.
Yo.
Do you lead? I'll...
Both electronics experts. Oh, we all leveled up. Yeah. Yes, sir. Decryption. Go ahead and get to the next level of decryption for advanced sabotage. And then put it all in the Spectre training, so I at least get some all-around increases. Her electronic, wow. So then, yeah, I was right. A lot of these instances are outright using your skill, not the skills your allies carry, like we had on Eden Prime when we got lucky.
Follow.
Yep. And I don't have electronics. So because I don't have electronics, if it follows the old rules of the old game, I'm not going to be able to touch that this entire playthrough. So how'd you folks like seeing your first Thresher Maw, huh? Utterly assholish, aren't they? I think there's actually a codex for it.
After the thresher moths are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
And I did it. With me and 49 other Marines. And no vehicles, children. Akuz. The ultimate vacation spot. You know, it's funny, up until I had used it, I'd actually forgot the thrusters were in this one. They didn't exist in the original, unfortunately, so you had to do the whole run. They recharge extremely fast, though. I do like that. Extremely fast. Alright, got our cobalt. Whoa! Oh, I'm like, what? Oh, shit. Needless to say, it's pretty easy to see why the Mako is a beast. Look at my equipment momentarily. Climb on down. Now, the way they design these surveys, Palladium, the way they design these surveys, even if you fail, it'll let you try again. And it never costs resources to do those. It only costs when it comes to things like unlocking chests and whatnot, computers and whatnot. That looks like there's company over there. Not dealing with it. Not dealing with it. Alright. Like a glove. Okay, we've got some things and some stuff. Damn, I forgot to sell. That's what I was trying to remember. Don't need the toxic seals with you. Shield regen. Oh wait, yeah, I guess so. I don't have a heal weave. So you know, old chap, don't die. Yeah? Yeah.
Rally round.
Yeah. I don't know why I even did that. Hold on. Damn. Haha. Okay, take his ass out there. Locked on. That's nice. What's that doing for me? What's that doing for us? That's just what I saw. You push me back, I'll wear you out. It is what it is. Here comes the Krogan. Let's go. I need you right there because I need to blow that up and us not get hit by it. It is what it is, mommy. You want it on the battlefield, you accept what comes with it. Good. I needed to get him down before he activated that damn immunity again. Thank you. Oh, you activated your singularity in the wrong spot. I was gonna have you activated over there, but sure. Fine. If you have to. You know, I wonder, hold up. Nope. Alright, Tally. Get over here. Alright. Excuse me. Sniper! Stasis. I'm not dealing with that. On this difficulty, they are one shot. The hell was that? Overload? Could have hit that. Blew him up a month and a half later.
Area secured.
Okay. Okay. Got codexes.
Patching you up.
Anomaly identified. You have discovered the course of Captain Willem of the MSV Majesty. His stiff fingers are wrapped tightly around a small data pad. Take the data pad. Needless to say, his brother didn't make it. Sounds like the galaxy. Full of wonders and bullshit. Wait there for me if you would, children. Daddy's gotta do some shopping. Okay.
Regroup.
Guess all the holiday turkey's gone. Something else I should have mentioned. I think I might have, but maybe not. Your grenades, they also refill after every mission, so you don't really have to worry about that. But if you don't have any kill enemies, look around in boxes. Sometimes they'll give you like metagel and like explosives. And it's pretty consistent as well. It's one of those. There's a good chance if there's loot in whatever mission you're doing. There's a good chance there's a some sort of ammo or something. But it's gonna be the end of episode 6, folks, of Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. We'll wait on that. Yeah, head back to Citadel. As I said, it's gonna be the end of episode 6 of Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, or subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, you're around some of the other playlists. Follow the links to my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links to my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you. Thanks for stopping by.